Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Saturday, so it's time for a Slashback Saturday from the Horror Man. This week's theme was either something to do in a shopping mall, a convenience store, department store, video store, something along those lines. And I chose The Initiation. I'm going to show you the trailer and then I'll talk a little about it.
Before the initiation begins, the subjects are studied. Even their dreams are recorded. Before the initiation begins, the testing areas are selected. The sorority house, the sanitarium, the empty shopping mall. And just before the initiation begins, a toast is required.
Being young, staying young, and dying young.
The initiation.
Delta, Rogue High, be with you.
A fraternal tradition for over 100 years.
Delta, Rogue High.
Created for only one purpose.
Pleasant dreams.
The initiation. The ceremony that will never die, as long as new blood is pledged.
Alright, and that was the trailer for The Initiation. Here it is on Internet Movie Database. As you can see, it came out in 1984. It runs an hour and 37 minutes. Here's some stills from the movie you can take a look at. A couple of good kill scenes there. The sorority, movie posters, and the DVD slip covers and arrow cover. There we go. So go back there. And I'll show you the cast. Vera Miles was Frances Fairchild. Clu Gallagher was Dwight Fairchild. Daphne, I can never say her name. But what's interesting, I knew she looked familiar. She was also Princess Vespa in Spaceballs, so that's where I recognize her. This was, I believe, her first movie. James Reed played Peter. Marilyn Kagan was Marcia. Robert Dow was Jason Randall. Patty Hyder was Nurse Higgins. Frances Peterson was Megan. And, yeah, she was the leader of the sorority, quite a bitch. But anyway, Hunter Tylo as Allison. Paula Knowles was Beth. Trey Sald was Ralph. Peter Malouf was Andy. Christopher Bradley was Chad. So basically, those were the guys in the frat that we see later on, and a couple of the boyfriends. Let's see, we got critics review. There's the parents guide. So if you want to see why it's rated R, there you go. So basically, it starts out, Kelly, who's played by Daphne there, she has this dream where she's a little girl, maybe about, I think she was like 9 or 12. No, she had to be 9 because she later says how she has amnesia. She can't remember anything in her childhood from 9. But she keeps having this reoccurring dream where she walks in on her mom with her dad in bed together, and then there's some strange man in the dream. She stabs her dad in the bed, or in the leg while he's in bed. And then there's another man that's in there that her dad like fights and gets, I guess, got some wine or something on him and pushes him down into the fire, and he catches on fire. And she keeps having this reoccurring dream, and she doesn't really understand what's going on. And she goes to her TA. She's also being pledged into the sorority, of course. And what runs into, she's the daughter of Fairchild, Dwight Fairchild, who owns a department store. And so as like her Hell Week challenge, she and the other sisters are going to break into the, try to get the keys from her dad to get into the mall. So that's where the whole department store plays into. So anyway, back to the dreams. She goes to her teacher's assistant, Peter, and she wants to do her research on like dreams and nightmares because she wants to figure out what's going on. And he's already doing research for his grad paper about REM sleep, and he has like this lab and monitors her REM sleep and everything, and he's can even do hypnosis, and he's trying to help her figure out what the dreams mean. And so while she's doing that, later on her mom finds out and goes into one of the sessions, not meaning to, but she's going to visit her daughter, and she hears like her calling for her, and she won't wake up by her name being called Fairchild, and I forget what the last name was. Randall, that's right. We find out she says Kelly Randall, so Peter says that and wakes up, and that's weird, thinking why she's going by two names. And him and the assistant, they find some stuff out, doing some research later, after we see Kelly, I'm sorry, I'm starting to call her by her real name. Kelly gets into the mall, and they're being watched, and while they were in the mall, their dare was to get the security guard's uniform from Megan, and Megan also gets the other guys to go in because she wants to scare them and everything. But turns out that they're being watched by someone who escaped the sane asylum, who is Jason Randall, and we find out that it wasn't dreams that she was remembering. She's actually the child of who she was having the dream of, and her mom was cheating on her dad, but because of this amnesia, she fell out of a treehouse and was in a coma and doesn't remember anything of her childhood, so it was hidden from her that her real dad was burned and put away. And so, of course, Dwight Fairchild is killed off. It's kind of funny. Well, it's kind of ironic how he's killed. He's decapitated, and his car was stolen to go to the mall because he was spying on, of course, Kelly and the friends. And the mom came out, was saying how he'd lose his head if it wasn't attached because he forgot like a jacket or something that he was supposed to take with him out of town, not knowing that he was one of the first ones murdered. And so then we cut to the mall, and they're the department store that's owned by Fairchild, and they're all in there, and they're being stalked by Robert, and getting killed off one by one. I won't really tell too much of the deaths, but there's some good scenes with a bow and arrow, some like harpoons and other sharp items, and really interesting deaths. And then you saw in the trailer that axe. So they're just basically being killed off one by one until there's the final confrontation between Kelly, not knowing that it's her father. Something happens between them, and Peter wants to come and explain everything. But there is a really interesting twist to it that we find out, and I really don't want to give it away. You have to watch it to find out. But there's something more involved besides her father in this whole crazy situation. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen the Initiation. I invite you to see the Initiation. Definitely should check it out. I mean, it's, the acting's pretty good from Daphne, like I said, who was in Spaceballs. It wasn't too bad, but it's that cheesy 80s movie. But the kill scenes, it's your typical 80s slasher, basically. But I mean, that's what we're here for. We love our slashers, so definitely check it out. If you haven't checked out Joe the Horror Man, be sure to check out his channel. If you haven't, be sure to join in Slashback Saturday. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time.